Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bite Podcast with Raven and Ree. I'm your host, Raven.
And I'm your host, Ree.
And welcome to episode 20, which, okay, guys, we don't have a particular topic for this podcast. For the past couple of like last week we did, the week before, but then we kind of, ever since Midnight Sun ended, we kind of just like venture off into whatever we want to talk about. But today is a very special episode because we're having our first ever guest on our podcast.
Yes.
We are here in a bit. She's gonna join us whenever she can, but we are having our friend Cherish, who many of you might know, and if you don't know her, then why don't you know her? We've talked about her plenty of times on our podcast. Um, if you remember, if you listen to our Zodiac podcast, we talked about her um, being literally Edward Cullen because she's the cusp of Cancer and Gemini, and Edward Cullen is on the cusp of Cancer and Gemini. So she is quite literally Edward Cullen.
Yeah, I have that as her contact name.
Yes, Edward Cullen. That for the longest time, that's what we were just like, Cherish is Edward Cullen. And that was it. So she'll be on here in a little bit, but we just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys before we bring her in, so that because there's a couple of things that I guess we just need to talk about.
Yeah.
First being that Ree just got her Twilight tattoo.
Yes! Oh my god. So I got it almost a week ago. It's been about 5 days, so it's in the process of healing. It's very rough texture, starting to itch. If you're watching the YouTube, I'll give a little close up.
And Ree actually designed that.
I designed it. Yes. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. Really, really good. I do have to get it touched up multiple times throughout because red ink outline tattoos unfortunately don't last that long. So I will have to get it touched up, but I'm thinking about in the future that if anything, after I've gotten it touched up, then I'll just redo it all in black and then get it shaded in red.
Oh so. Yeah, that'd be so. Yeah, so I have one on my forearm too. Yours is on your right arm.
Yes.
Yeah, mine's on. I have a forearm tattoo on my left. Oh my goodness, I will say that forearm tattoos are probably the worst place you can get a tattoo, only because when you get to that itching point, you see it and you want to itch it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Because my hip didn't itch that bad. But that hurt worse. Did your forearm hurt when you get it?
No, I have a really weird thing where I like getting blood drawn. I don't mind shots. I love tattoos. My first okay, I will say though. So I have 5 tattoos. Oh, we have a guest. That was amazing.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was hilarious. Bestie Cherish. Is she there?
I don't know. Well, Cherish.
Maybe she's connecting still.
Yeah.
What a perfect time to enter. Ooh, okay, I see her name. Her name popped up, guys. We are
okay, I see connecting to audio. Okay, she's on mute. There she is.
Hello.
Hi, bestie.
Hey, besties.
You came in at a perfect time. We're talking about tattoos, even though you have none.
I have no tattoos. You're right.
So we can tell you our experience with tattoos before we get into the nitty gritty, right? Mm-hmm. So, I have 5 tattoos. I have a giant moon on my back. I have my forearm poem tattoo. I have a tiny bitty elephant on my wrist. Cute. I have my Twilight, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb, which is probably the most cliche tattoo.
Adorable.
But whatever. Precious. It's kind of like on my leg at a sideways angle, you know. And then I have this tiny one right here. It's a little heart. It's red. That was my first tattoo ever, and that was my most painful tattoo.
It's like on the collarbone.
Yeah.
That's ooh.
It lasted maybe 5, like the entire time, like not even counting like paperwork and all that. Like the tattooing time, maybe 5 minutes or less. But it was the worst 5 minutes of my life. I was like, nope, never. And then I just like after that, I just upgraded real quick. I went from tiny heart tattoo to like giant moon on my back. Let's do it.
Oh my
So
gosh. See,
hey,
my first tattoo was the owl I have on my side, and that area is probably the worst you could do as a first tattoo, and it has a lot of shading and color, so that hurt, and it took 2 hours.
oh
Mm-mm.
no,
This took 15 minutes because it just was lying right, and it didn't hurt until it got to the middle because that's where the tendon is. My brother got his forearm also tattooed, and it was so fun watching him. He was just so like,
I will say though, um whenever they got closer to like where they would normally like draw blood from, like I guess my inner my arm fold
oh,
area,
like right
that
here.
Yep.
I like felt it in my vein. I was like, oh, it was not a good feeling. But
Mm-mm.
are there any other what are some updates in the Twilight world? Do we have any updates in the Twilight world? I think
Not
I had
really.
something possibly. Oh, it was just Robert Pattinson's birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to Rob,
Happy birthday to our
the
king,
king.
Edward
Our,
Cullen.
our
Um,
favorite chaotic Taurus.
Period. Literally,
and
he is the most chaotic human being to exist on
He
planet
is.
Earth.
I feel like his like soulmate. Okay, well, I feel like him and Kristen are soulmates, but like platonic. Like it obviously you can
Yeah.
have platonic soulmates, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, right? But I feel like you have to be a particular type of person to date Robert Pattinson.
Yes,
Like
completely.
very eccentric, maybe. Do I dare say so? You know, I don't know.
Listen, I've looked up my compatibility with Robert Pattinson before. I don't think it was very good, but
Mine is extremely low.
it's so
Same.
bad. But I'm like, I back in the day, I had a crush on one of my friends, and he was a Taurus, and I looked up if Tauruses and Cancers were compatible, and it said they were pretty compatible, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It must be whatever else is in his like the rest of his chart, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think
Because
he's got like Aries somewhere in there, just because he's a little chaotic.
Those
he's
crazy
very
Aries.
chaotic.
I don't know anything about what it means, but
It's like he played Edward, but he's really Emmett in real life.
wow.
Didn't think about that, but yes. The only thing is he's not. I mean, he's less himbo than Emmett. You know, he's not like
Mm.
Yeah.
this burly guy that you know. But I mean,
He's
like
just dirty.
you have to just know, like what kind of person he is for him to make a 5 minute video about hot dogs.
That is like my favorite video of all time. And he's just like
Best
whispering in
video.
the corner. I was like, Rob.
It was so funny.
It's
Um,
iconic.
I could have sworn that so sometimes I like I just have to check my the Bite TikTok because sometimes I save stuff or I send us things like, oh,
Hmm.
we need to like talk about this. But I don't think I have anything. I'm like, I could have sworn that I had something. Oh, you know what? I don't know if we talked about this in the last podcast. Maybe we did, but Jackson Rathbone has vowed to his followers that if he gets
Yes.
to 1
Yes,
million followers, he will get a Twilight tattoo.
as he should.
I think we might have mentioned it, but just while we're on the topics of tattoos, and I think we said this last time, he needs to get battle scars.
He needs to get battle
Seriously,
scars.
if it's not battle scars, like it's not worth it.
It's not a Twilight tattoo.
It
Like,
really is not.
and I can't think of what else he would get. I'm like, you know, like what is there else to get? So Jackson, if you're listening, that's what it is.
Jackson, it has to be. It literally has to be. Like, if he doesn't get battle scars, I think the fandom will feel let down. Either
He's got a
that,
ketchup bottle.
or he should get like a little cowboy hat. But I'm like, he's from like so like if he wanted something subtle that was like a nod to Jasper, he could do something like that. Or what if he got like some sort of obscure way of representing like Alice and Jasper, like an outline or I don't
Oh,
even
that'd be cute.
know.
But the only weird thing about that was because like Ashley and Jackson have like history.
True.
So like it'd be like, oh, kind of weird, you know? Unless his wife is like, you know, I get it, you
Yeah.
know, but then also
Imagine he just gets Alice tatted on him. Just like the name Alice.
oh no.
Oh
And
my
they're like,
god.
what is this about? And he's like, because I played Jasper.
So guys, we have the Cherish Janae on our podcast today.
Stop.
So I think one of many reasons why I was like the first two people that popped into my mind for when we were thinking of guests. I won't say the other one because she still might be a guest in the future, but Cherish was like one of the first people I thought of. Not only because we share a love for Twilight, we have a friendship. We all three have a friendship. Cherish lives 20 minutes away from me.
Literally.
We share, but we also share a very toxic relationship with the men of of the MCU.
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll appreciate this. He's right here with me. I have a Loki cardboard cutout next to me for all of you listening and not watching. This was a gift that I received last week from my besties. They did not tell me they were getting me this. I had no idea. They were like, we're getting Cherish something. And I was like, well, I'm scared. And it came in and it's life size.
So it's a giant
Huge.
Loki cutout.
He's
And
gonna stay with us.
It's just in your. I mean, I don't mind having Loki here. So not only do we have Cherish, but we also have
Loki as well. Ragnarok Loki.
yes, which is
Cher-
honestly, I love Ragnarok Loki.
Love Ragnarok Loki.
Cherish is just so like, oh, you watch Loki on TV? Well, he's in my room.
Yeah, literally, he's with me. So sorry. Also, Tom Hiddleston, if you're listening to this podcast, please don't.
Also, Tom Hiddleston, if you're listening to this podcast, please endorse us.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Actually, listen to the podcast, but like, don't listen to anything that I say.
Yeah.
Unless this is after the fact when we're married, then I can't stop you. But
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is what I'm speaking into existence. In case anybody wants to know, this is symbolic of our future.
Yes. So like Ree and Cherish share a love for Loki. I think
Loki,
Cherish and
Tom.
I mean, I love Loki, love Tom, but he's just, you know, he's like not my main. So Cherish and I have this understanding. We just send each other thirst trap like Marvel
Anything.
videos. I mean, literally anything. At this point, I feel like our videos have gone way beyond, like way
It's just
beyond.
so beyond.
It started off very innocently sending each other Marvel POVs, which Ree and I also do send to each other. But
When I check my DMs every once in a while.
Ree has like probably 20 to 50 messages from me.
I'm gonna catch up on them, don't worry.
Girl, you're gonna need a whole afternoon.
Yeah, I normally during the day I try, like sometimes I'll send Cherish TikToks, and then like say I have like 99 notifications on TikTok. 20 of those are probably from Cherish.
Probably.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
if I see anything Bucky or Sebastian Stan, it just goes right to Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
He is I'm like, if you want to, you can also send me Bucky, Sebastian Stan, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but like obviously like Raven, he's not my main. Tom is my number one. And also just to let you guys know, I looked up my compatibility with Rob again, and it's 55%, 55.44%. And I'm triggered because I saw a picture of Taylor Swift right next to it.
No.
And y'all, not that, listen, Taylor stans don't come for me. Taylor Swift is so talented. She is a queen. Like, get it? Like, she is living her best life and living the dream that I want to live. But she dated Tom and broke up with him. Like, that's better for me, right? Because they're not together. But also, how? Anyway, I have no judge. She's very happy in her relationship now, I'm sure. I hope, because she deserves happiness from all the crap that she's gone through in the music industry and whatnot.
I wonder if I, w- I would love to be a fly on the wall in their relationship.
100%. I mean, we
I
saw a lot of
just
it.
want to see the dynamic. I want to see what it was behind closed doors, not like the paparazzi like video pictures or all
Mm-hmm.
that. Because I feel
Yeah.
like even in like paparazzi, like even though sometimes people when they're in relationships and they get paparazzi, I feel like there's always some level of like facade because it's like that's their like
Mm-hmm.
persona. That's like the who that I would just
Yeah.
love to see like what they argued about.
That literally, like, I mean, because all we saw from many photos of them is like them being so lovey-dovey and like holding I don't know. I feel like it tells me more about like how he was in the relationship versus her. Because like Taylor Swift, we see her dating so many people. Like we kind
Yeah.
of know her vibes, but like Tom had dated other celebrities before her. Like I don't know, a bunch of beautiful women who he like co-starred with.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, they moved quick. Like they went on all these vacations together. She went to England and met his parents. Like a lot, like they were moving quick. Someone there was even an article that said that like he had wanted to like get married already and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like he was really like feeling it. So that my Taylor Swift, one of my besties who is a Taylor Swift guru, she is like, no, they like ended things on good terms, like it wasn't that crazy and all this stuff. Everyone else is like, she broke him, you know. I'm like, and I feel bad because I'm like, what if she did? But I don't want to say that about Taylor Swift because I'm like, she seems like a nice girl and she moved on. But I was like, Tom was never the same.
I wonder because it's a known fact that she writes songs about
Mm-hmm.
her exes. So I just want to know which one. Is it a confirmed like
There is
I'm not
not
a
a
Swiftie, so
confirmed.
I'm not like
Yeah.
100% sure. But
It's
like
not. It's not confirmed, but there's suspicion because, like, her. I think the era was the Reputation era when she was
Mm-hmm.
because the 1989 era had a lot with Harry. So
Mm-hmm.
mm,
I think it was because Lover is all about like her relationship with Joe right now. So I would say Reputation. If it has a song, it would be somewhere in there.
The song that is like rumored to be about him is Getaway Car, which I still have not listened
I love
to.
that song.
I've not listened to it ever.
I'm gonna search up some of the lyrics.
Yeah,
I love
because
that song.
they're like, it's about him, but then my Swiftie friend, she's like, no, it's like kind of about him, but I think she's like, everyone knows it's like more about her getting over her last relationship, which was sucky, which I think was Calvin Harris, was before Tom.
It was
Okay.
Calvin or it was that Kennedy dude.
I think it was Calvin Harris. Kennedy dude,
I was
I don't
surprised they were
remember.
together. I did not suspect them to get
But
together.
weren't they together for a while?
I think 2 years.
The Kennedy
And
guy?
The Kennedy, well, she was with the Kennedy guy for like maybe a year, I would say. But Calvin Harris, they were together for 2 years, I think.
I thought that they were gonna get married.
I think everybody was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they were
Actually,
together for a long time.
I honestly did not literally to give everyone the backstory of my Tom Hiddleston Loki love timeline. First of all, Ree was simping for a long time, and I think eventually she just rubbed off on me because
Yeah.
he was not on my radar whatsoever. Like literally last summer, I keep saying literally, but it's just like literally last summer, my family, we went through all the Marvel films, of course. I had never sat down and watched them all in order like that. And then there were a bunch that my mom hadn't seen, so we were like watching them all. I could not have told you what his name was. I would have been like, oh, that's Loki, the guy who plays Loki. I don't know what his name is. And I vaguely remembered being like, oh my gosh, when Taylor Swift started dating him, I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. What the heck? Fast forward to like 2 months ago, it was like the TikTok sound of at first I was like, Tom Hiddleston as a joke. But bro, actually no, it was Loki. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Loki is so cute. And then I was like, I get it.
Yo, oh my God. Cherish and I we were up till 2 a.m.
Non-stop.
Those. Because then also we had remembered the TikTok I made back in like September where it was the She's a Whore set,
Mhm.
and I had like the team A, team C kind of thing, and I had him in team B, I think, and he just walked and whacked the.
He walked in. It's from Avengers, right? It's from the first
Yes,
Avengers.
the Avengers.
And he walks in, he's got his little staff, and he flips it and he smacks a guy in the face. And I was like, is this awakening something right now? And then then it was just like an avalanche of emotions. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this man, what the heck? We were going through it.
It got pretty, it transferred over to the GC. Lots of people in the GC were not supportive of Cherish's relationship with Tom.
I
enabled it.
Ree was the main enabler.
It was like,
oh my
God. Riley and me, and I think that's it.
Kristen also loves Loki, so she was semi-supportive.
Yeah.
I sent Cherish like this master list of Loki fanfics that I love. Yep. I think I sent Raven the Bucky master list that I love. Oh my God.
Us and our mass murderers.
Well, see, and then that's why it's like there has to be some deep-rooted issues, you know? There was a video I sent to Cherish, and it's this girl who made a series about like, you know, why
we're attracted.
Yeah, why are you attracted to so and so character? She did it from like, you know, she did one from Venom, and then she did one for the invisible guy from Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
And so then she also did one about Loki, and she also has one coming about Bucky. So I'm like, I'm waiting. But the one for Loki, she was like, I'm noticing a pattern. He's a little degrading, you know. So there's a lot, you know, deep-rooted issues. I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I feel like if you guys were to see either of our DMs with Cherish, you'd maybe be a little.
Oh my God. Literally.
If you would just look at mine and Cherish's text conversations at times, you'd be like, y'all need help.
Literally, it's just like I want him to redacted and redacted, just like over and over again, like, oh my gosh. And if he would just beep, 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 like all over, beep, 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 like redacted. Yeah, it's just so much of that. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Tom Hiddleston, if you're still listening and we are married, please just like don't bring it up. Don't ask. Because I have a problem. It's not a problem. I tend to be like overly honest with people about myself, not about like if you tell me a secret, I'm gonna keep that secret, but I can't keep my own secrets. So like if you like literally you don't even have to ask me about it, I'll just be like, I feel like I need to tell you this and it's embarrassing, and I will just expose everything that I've ever done. And I mean, maybe it's a good thing. I mean, there could be worse things, right? But I'm gonna be like, so basically I'm crazy. And I mean, but I'm not like crazy, but like I just had to tell you. And I fear that for myself in any future anythings.
Yeah, I think Carlos has an understanding. I mean, if I were to meet, you know, Sebastian Stan or Chris Evans or Tom Hiddleston, and they were to tell me, I will fly you out right now, I want you to come spend a week with me, I'd be like, Carlos, I'm leaving for a week. I'll be back, but like, I have to go. Like, and he has to know, like, that's it.
Literally. Oh my God. I'm at this point in my life, and I've told this to our friend group, I'm like, guys, literally, there's no other option. It's Tom or nothing. Like, it's Tom or no one. I'm like, some people are like, oh my gosh, like when I get married, and I saw TikTok today, and it was like crying because, or it was like a picture, and it was like the girl crying at her wedding because I'm not marrying Tom Hiddleston, and I was like, sucks for her. I was like, man, that really sucks for her because that's not gonna be me. Oh my gosh, like. I legitimately, and I was telling this to Ree, probably, I was like, literally, no man is attractive anymore. Like, I don't know what I used to think was attractive about men before this guy, but like,
I mean, I have like maybe a handful other than Tom
Ree
Hiddleston.
has her, like, she's got her David Tennant, her
Keanu Reeves, I just
Keanu
got a
Reeves.
poster of him.
Oh my gosh. Ree has all her middle-aged men who she's in love with.
Mine are literally like Chris Evans, Sebastian Stan, Carlos. Oh, Kiowa.
Oh my gosh, Kiowa.
The one
Man,
person that made Cherish act up for
I
a couple hours.
for real. I was like, hold on. I was like, Tom, close your eyes. I am feeling emotions for another man. But literally after he was off the live stream, I was like, nah, okay. But then like watching it back, I was like, oh my gosh. He was really just like, ah, and I was like, ah. It was ridiculous. Raven was unwell. We hung out on that day, and Raven was like, "He said my name" or something.
It was a thing. It was a
It was a thing.
yeah. Well, the same thing. The one thing that Tom Hiddleston has in common with Twilight is that he too dated Taylor Swift, like Taylor Lautner, who plays Jacob.
It all connects to Twilight.
It all connects
every
to Twilight.
time.
So
Wow.
speaking of Twilight, Cherish, you were like a Twilight queen at this point.
I am not a Twilight queen.
You are a Twilight queen.
I'm just a little fan.
No, I don't think
Extreme
so.
silence in all ways if you haven't already.
Oh.
And Echo. So
And
Cherish,
Echo.
yes, Cherish
Echo.
writes music, like beautiful music. She's
Oh.
a choir teacher, a chor. What is it like? Choral.
Well,
What's like the professional word? Choir.
Choir, literally. But yeah, I teach little kids music and stuff. That's fun.
So, are you teaching them how to become the next pop stars?
I mean, I definitely have some promising voices. You know, not everyone was meant to have a solo. But there are some standout stars. So, I mean,
we'll see in the future
happens.
when they're winning a Grammy. They're like, shout out to my teacher, Mrs. Cherish.
Literally.
So, tell us a little bit more about your songwritings and how you ended up like writing a song based off of Midnight Sun or inspired, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. And how that has transformed to writing music for other fandoms.
Okay, so flashback to July 2020. We're all quarantined up, right? And well, actually, no, before that, flashback to May 2020 when Stephanie Meyer announced that she was going to be releasing Midnight Sun, and the website crashed. We were all emotional. It was craziness. And I was like convinced it was gonna be something about the host because I was like, oh, the announcement, it's got like stars and stuff like the freaking universe, it's the host. But then it was Midnight Sun, and I was like, I'm dead, I'm gonna die. So then flash forward a couple months to July 2020. Marin and Emily they were doing like lives for their podcast, and I was like, oh my gosh, they mentioned something about like Edward and how like he just was silent, like he could not hear anything but silence when he was with Bella and stuff. And I was like, silence, I wonder, like, and then I just like down the rabbit hole my mind went. I was like, you know, if I could read minds all the time, it would probably be really annoying. And then if I was able to spend this opportunity with Bella, like in the meadow, like imagine how like beautiful that would be to like finally not have to like hear the just like crowd
Yeah,
noises.
yeah.
And so I wrote the chorus of Silence. You looked at me, and I couldn't believe that an angel had come just to sit here with me. And basically, Silence never sounded sweeter was the line that I wrote. And then I sang that for Marin and Emily on their podcast, and like the next day, or on their like live for their podcast. And I was like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I'm gonna finish this song. And I finished it within like 2 days. And then I sang it on my own live on Instagram. And then I recorded it at like 3 a.m. the next day because people were like, we need this song on everywhere. And I posted a video of the song. And basically, everyone just started tagging Fickle Fish Films, which is Stephanie Meyer's Instagram. And then the rest was history. The next day, I got a DM and they were like, we want to put this on the website. And I was like, I'm going to die. Oh my gosh. And again, Midnight Sun hadn't even come out yet. I was just so, I mean, I've been a Twilight fan since 2009. So I know the story inside and out. It was my number one obsession forever and still is basically. I mean, second only to Mr. Tom Hiddleston. But it was just like a roller coaster. People were streaming the song, sharing it everywhere. It was crazy. Stephanie gave me a shout out and a Q&A. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is
And
happening.
then you were on her website.
And then I'm still
Yeah.
there. If you scroll back a few
You're still on
pages,
her website.
you can
And I think
search.
that was the first time that you and I had ever interacted because you had posted it on TikTok and I heard
Mhm.
it and I was like, I'm dead. And at the time, I had like I mean I didn't have like 20,000 followers, but I was like
You were popping.
I was like there, you know, I was like a couple to 10 a couple more than 10,000 for sure. Uh, so I like duetted it and I was like, guys, you need to go check this out. And that was like the first interaction that you and I ever had. And then I don't know how, but then I found out that you lived close by
Mhm.
for I don't even know
I
like
think we had
how,
DM'd.
yeah, something
And
like
I was
that.
like, oh my gosh, you're in tech. I think we had talked about like, oh my gosh, where are you from and something. And then you were like, oh my gosh, I'm in far. And I was like, oh my gosh. And
Yeah, so we're literally 20 minutes away from each other. But that was the first time I ever interacted with you was because of
Mhm.
Silence, which is
Craziness.
beautiful.
I
And I
met Cherish on that Ladies About Esme.
Mm-hmm.
When they said Cherish wrote the song Silence, I literally almost had to turn off my camera
Stop.
because I was like, that's Cherish.
I mean,
I was so fangirling inside. I was like, you gotta keep it. This is live. You gotta hold yourself together.
you guys are crazy because I was fangirling over all the TikTok famous people on there. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like looking at your faces. I was like, I've seen these people in TikToks before. It's crazy. It's also really funny when people will send me you guys' TikToks. I'm like, that's my friend. And they're like, what? This is your friend? I'm like, yeah.
oh my goodness. Um, and so then you wrote, so then you have two Twilight songs.
Yes.
And I will say that after, because we did like a whole Midnight Sun, um, like, like I guess I don't even know, like a Midnight Sun. I don't know. We reviewed Midnight Sun in several parts, but I want to say that like literally when reading it, at some points, like I'd be like, oh my gosh, like the Cherish's song would fit perfectly here. I want to know if there was any points in the movies or like in the books when you read it, you'd be like, this is exactly where I imagine my song to be.
In the movies, honestly, no, because I feel like it would be. I feel like my songs are so story oriented that
Mhm.
maybe they wouldn't fit in a movie scene. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they're definitely after credits kind of
Okay.
things, especially with like especially with my new one, which is about the Hunger Games. We'll get into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Silence would probably be more after because Twilight is about Bella, and I do have a Bella song called Always Be You.
Mhm.
Um, so that one honestly though, she fits in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
It could be prom, it could be just a meadow moment, it could be a montage of romance, you know, but mostly I feel like um yeah, it's probably more after the credits. If I could write, because I like writing about things that are like in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, probably would be better if I could help like write a musical of some kind, because I can write for the scene, but if I'm writing it overall, I'm like, I don't want to break this up into parts. I need to get it all one and done. I want you to feel all the emotions of the entire story in one song, and I hope that I'm able to do that with what I've done. I
Yeah.
did my best.
I think definitely when I was reading Midnight Sun, I was like, oh my gosh. I think like you literally, like Stephanie said, like you perfectly like captured like Midnight Sun in silence. I definitely think so. And then Edward had to go freaking ruin it at the end.
Oh my gosh. R.I.P. all of my emotions at the end of Midnight Sun. Oh my gosh.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll never forgive him for the bottle cap.
Literally never. I could not believe. I was like, oh, he still has it somewhere.
Mm-mm.
Well, no forgiveness. That in itself is jail time.
Jail.
Jail.
Right to
Go.
jail. Right to jail.
So then you wrote Always, which is your Bella song. Beautiful. It sounds like a lullaby.
It really
Sounds
does.
like a Bella's lullaby, but it's not Bella's lullaby.
Yeah, literally. That one came about literally just because I wanted Edward to have his Bella, you know. Edward needs a Bella. And so I they're in this to get a little musical on you. They're in the same key because I intended for them to like fit together so I could do a mashup one day, which I still hope to do. Um and there's some chord things that are different that are like kind of out of the key because I'm like, Bella always feels like she's out of step, or she's like, I've always felt like I'm, out of step, just like one step behind everybody, literally stumbling through my life. So the music, I try to reflect that in the music, and basically I just sprinkled a little bit of silence in there as well. Like, I still can't believe that an angel decided to sit here with me. And I was like, Edward said that. So I think I also wanted it to be like a nice little thing for people who knew silence to, have like that little Easter egg in there. Oh my gosh, speaking of Easter eggs, I just think of all the freaking driver's license songs I did that have they have little snippets of soundtrack songs in them. So I wanted to my inspiration for doing that with the driver's license songs came from me doing this with Always and sprinkling in silence in there. Because
Yes,
they fit together.
For those of you that don't know, when driver's license became really big on TikTok, people started making like POVs from like the neighbor or the car or just wild things. And I think we had even said early on in the GC that driver's license sounded like it would be perfect for like if they were to make it modern times, it would have been perfect for whenever Edward left Bella.
Yeah.
Because, maybe just like slow down a little bit, more sad, but because it's like literally kind of perfectly described it. And so Cherish took that trend that was going on and did like driver's license from like the cactus. Well, that was the one that kind
I'm
of
gonna pull it up.
I did like every character you could ever imagine. I started with Bella and then went to Edward, then to Jacob, Charlie, Cactus, and I actually did Aaliyah.
Yeah, and everyone loved the cactus.
The cactus one, she just was a popular, fun one. Honestly, though, actually, the Charlie one was that one got the most likes. That one was the most liked on TikTok. I think the most viewed one on YouTube, because if you're interested, the full covers are on YouTube. They are, I think, is the Bella one. Or maybe Edward. I'm looking.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like the Edward had the most views. But and then Bella was right behind it.
Edward, Bella, then Jacob, then Cactus, then Charlie. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the opposite on TikTok.
And
But
then
yeah.
people really wanted, I know people requested for you to do a driver's license from POV of the Emmett eggs.
So many other requests. I got people wanted me to do the Volturi or just Aro specifically, Jessica. I have it like literally in a note because I was like, people, I'm not doing all of these different driver's license covers, but I get it. Like it is what it is. But
Yeah, I think
it
after
ain't
you did so
cowboy.
many, so it was like, well, I think it was you ended off with Cactus or with
Mm-hmm.
Leah.
Cactus was the last one I posted on YouTube. Leah came after the cactus, but she just remains on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Cactus was a perfect one to
hmm
end on because it's so obscure, but it was so good.
So
It was like
ridiculous.
oh no, I love that. Um, so I also want to talk about how you're kind of like a TikTok trend in the
Oh my
Twilight world.
gosh. Thanks to
So,
Raven. Raven started a trend using my sound, and I feel honored that
so
I was a part.
I think it was like a I don't know what I was looking for on your page, but I somehow scrolled all the way down and Cherish had this gem of a video. She's in a car, it's raining. She goes, "It's a rainy day here." You know what
See
that
what that
means?
means?
And Cherish is a gorgeous singer, but in this video she just didn't sing it the
Mm-mm.
best of her ability.
Nope, I
So
did
she's
not.
saying the and then I heard the audio and I was like, this is gonna be gold. I added the sound to my favorites. That was months ago.
And Raven was like, I'm saving this for a rainy day. Like, I'm going to save this for the future. I
Yes.
was like,
So
okay.
I saved it. I was like, whatever. But I was like, and didn't even think about it. Then one day it's raining and I go, I
There's the sound.
know what to do. So I just went outside. I did my little TikTok video with her audio. And then after that, it took off.
I was like, excuse me. And so I think it was like 2 or 3 people who used the sound got over 1 million views. Like, it was like 1 million. Some girl had like 2.3 million. I was like, and my video, she's sitting there. She's got like, I think it's finally got over like 10K likes on it, but it's because people were going over and commenting like, I came from the duet because it sucks when the sound doesn't have as much likes, the blah blah, or when the original doesn't have as many likes. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate it. But
Yeah,
y'all go stream. I was like, people, I promise I can sing. Go stream my music.
that was, I guess that was an unintentional. My video doesn't even have, I mean, I started it. My video has 3,000 views, 500 likes. I was like, whatever. But like, let me go. I'm going to this. Um,
How many videos are there now with it?
there are 532 videos
It's
using Cherish's
crazy.
audio. But the good thing is, like, when you click on the audio, who do you see? You see Cherish there with her Midnight Sun book.
This girl's has 3.7 million views. This
Yeah.
girl's got no, there's another where's the original girl who there was one girl, she reposted it and I was like, oh my homie goodness,
Yeah,
1.1
she got
million.
a lot of, and then I know, and also it started a little tea in the comments of some of the videos because they'd go and like so and so did this first, and then someone commented like Raven did it first, and it's Cherish's audio. It's just so funny.
I've never looked through the comments, but that's so funny because a lot of people would tag me and be like, "This audio is from Cherish Danae. Like, go like her video, go follow her." And I'm like, "That's so sweet." Like people don't have to do that. Like, obviously, my name's on the audio. Like, I'm not like you're stealing my content. You know, like it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
TikTok. It is what it is. But I'm like, y'all, can you like I would try to comment on everyone who was getting a lot, and I'd be like, I promise I can sing. Please go stream my music.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think the audios, I'm waiting. I still have it saved because I am waiting. If y'all don't know, Cherish and I live in Texas, Tejas, and we get hit pretty hard with hurricane season. And I heard this hurricane season is gonna be way worse than last hurricane season.
Girl, I
So
mean, it was raining this weekend over here by my house. It was flooded so bad. And I was like, I'm gonna go lay out and use my sound.
I was waiting for it to get super raining like a hurricane, and the perfect opportunity was this weekend. But I was at rehearsal, and I was like, I think my students would think it was a little weird if I just went out and danced in the rain. So I'm waiting for it to get really bad one day. I'm gonna go out and use audio again because it's an amazing audio.
I appreciate
really.
the support.
I
I
just found my favorite Cherish TikTok.
Oh God.
The
that is that is oh no. I have while we're on the
Girl,
topic of
put your
favorite,
seatbelts on.
that is my favorite video.
that's my favorite.
Oh
Oh
my
my god.
gosh.
When you sent that to the group chat the first time, I replayed it, I think 10 in one go because it was just so funny.
I was
That's my
so
favorite
proud of that
video.
one. That was the first one of my TikToks that like really like popped off a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, I literally made this. It was like in the middle of the day because I was teaching that day, I'm pretty sure. And I was just like, I'm gonna go make a TikTok real quick on my lunch break. And I made it. And I was like, wow.
It was so good.
Yeah, I really love that video, and I think that you're a trendsetter, Cherish.
Oh, stuff. I
Um,
do what I can.
it's something else I wanted to talk about while we had you here because you kind of started um a little series on your TikTok a while back about I guess it was like Twilight fact checking kind of, or
Mm-hmm.
because I think sometimes a lot on TikTok with you see people and they have very strong-willed opinions
Mm-hmm.
about Twilight, which is fine because I mean everyone can form their own opinions. But a lot of times people say things that aren't 100% canon to
Mm-hmm.
what and I think so you started a series you were kind of like clearing up I don't know like just things like opinions or things you've heard. So I just
Yeah.
wanted you to touch on that a little bit because you're pretty vocal about that on your Instagram too when you go
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram live.
Yeah, here's the thing. People love to I think we've had these headcanons going on for so long, especially with this like surge of the Twilight Renaissance, that we forget what was actually written. And people are like, I read the books all the time, and blah 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 blah. And a lot of times people are just putting words into the writing, putting words into Stephanie Meyer's mouth, which I'm like, listen, homies, we can't be doing that stuff because, I mean, first of all, I don't know her. She's
Mhm.
very nice to me, in these indirect ways. But I'm like, one of the big things that really irks me, and I've wanted to make a TikTok about it, but I haven't had the opportunity to because I'm like, it directly would like go after someone who like I'm kind of friends with on TikTok. Who
Mhm.
we have completely different opinions on like everything Twilight, but I'm like, this is like one thing that I'm like, home girl, we gotta talk about this, okay? And that is that people are always upset with the Cullens, and they always are like, the Quileutes have every right. The Quileute tribe in the books, not the actual Quileute tribe. Like,
Yeah.
move to higher ground. You know what I mean? But like in the book, the tribe has every right to be mad at the Cullens because they're the whole reason why they are wolves, the whole reason why they have to shift and the gene is triggered and stuff. But let me tell you, people, that is, I think I can prove that that is false and that the Cullens are not the reason. If anybody is triggered by the Cullens, it's Jacob, and that's pretty much it. Because the treaty says the Cullens cannot cross into Quileute lands, right? The Quileutes can't go near where the Cullens are. They should never cross paths ever. Like I don't even think like I think there's like specific. I mean, I haven't looked into this exactly, but I don't necessarily know that there's like a neutral ground except for like forks, right? But like if there's forest or where they would be running patrol or where they would be hunting, like those are separate places. I would
Yeah.
think, right? Because the treaty separates them. So when a wolf is triggered, when the wolf gene is triggered, it's not necessarily from a vampire being in the area. So people are always like, oh, the Cullens came into town and that's why all these wolves are shifting. It's technically because the wolves get the scent of a vampire. So yes, proximity can be a thing, but the wolves and the Cullens are never within
Yeah.
like that much of each, like they have specific guidelines for we cannot cross paths. So if a nomad just passes through the forest and a young boy or Leah Clearwater goes through the forest for whatever reason and they catch that scent, the gene is triggered, whether or not the vampire is there. So that like, and I will die on this soapbox. I don't think the Cullens are at fault for the boys and Leah shifting, which they can.
I think if anything, if anyone is, it's more Jacob than
Yeah, Jacob because he interacts with Bella, who's interacted with them. Obviously, their scent is all over her and all
also
over
like
Edward's all over
literally
the
right
room.
at the end of Twilight. I mean, Jacob goes and like crashes.
He
He's in
goes to
close
Forks.
proximity to
Mm-hmm.
Edward, and he
Yep.
so.
So I'm like, there's a lot of factors that could play into them becoming or their genes being triggered, and I don't necessarily believe that the Cullens were the ones to have done that. If anything, it would have been James, Victoria, or Laurent,
And then Victoria again.
and then Victoria again, literally, yeah. So I'm just saying that's like one of the things that I'm like, I feel like we need to all read these things, and just stuff like that. And
also, I don't think that we should let like a piece of. I mean, I don't want to call it Twilight literature, but I guess whatever.
It is
but,
literature.
Literature. I like divide us as a fandom because I think that that's when things become like toxic. Like we should just like let people have their opinions, but then also there's sometimes where there's like hardcore opinions that are just very like I think demonizing or harmful to like our community.
For sure.
And I think like some people on the outside would be like, this is so stupid, like why do you even care? But like it's important to us because it's like the people that we interact with, it's like the people that we're around.
It's like this is our safe space, so then when it's up in flames, it doesn't become a safe space anymore, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to even think or talk about it because I just don't have to deal with any drama that comes with it.
Yeah definitely.
Also don't go to the Cullen house. Off limits.
R.I.P. Oh my gosh.
I was just saying because right now I was looking at your audio and someone used your audio at the Cullen house.
Stop. I did not even see that.
I swear, go look.
No, I have to go.
Let me see.
I'm like, period. Go off, queen. But like, if you see the cone, don't go crossing it.
Don't go past the cone.
Don't go past the cone.
Don't go crossing the cone. I couldn't if I tried. Oh my gosh.
I love that song.
Oh, this girl.
No,
but
so
she's like
2 videos.
This
so
girl.
The professional one is I think actually does she not cosplay? Is she not cosplaying?
She was doing she's part of that one group at Swan's Eye View.
Yeah.
And she's the Rosalie for them.
Yeah. So she did that one, but I mean she could have not crossed then because it looked like she has a drone.
Yeah. I see the one though, and I'm like, was the cone there? It probably was. Honestly, if I see people there, I'm like, I bet the cone wasn't there because not to bring it up
I
again.
want to comment like, hey guys, was the cone there?
Stop. Yeah. Like, you should. When was this posted? Oh, it was like in March.
When was the cone? When the cone was put up like 3 months ago, no?
Girl, I don't remember. Y'all, the cone, I'm triggered.
That was wild.
I
the whole cone ordeal.
Oh, a cone. Hey.
I missed the cone. If the cone's down, I'll be very sad.
If the cone's gone, I mean, I'll be happy and sad at the same time. That's a Casey Musgrave song. Yeah, it's the cone. Oh, the cone.
I'm gonna comment. Was there a cone at the end of the driveway?
Because y'all, if listeners, if you only knew, which I'm sure some of you do, if you follow any of us, oh, that was a whole ordeal. Man, I had to literally take a break from social media because of that stinking cone.
That cone.
Yeah.
Oh, so the person that posted the video using your audio and the Cullen House is pretty big on TikTok, 29.7K followers, and they just post like they post Twilight videos, but they're like Twilight aesthetic videos.
Ooh,
Love
interesting.
that.
Interessante. They've got
Interesting.
his name is Diego. Hello, Diego. A Twilight boy? We
A Twilight boy,
stand.
yeah.
I have no choice but to stand.
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Dang.
If
I
you
was
guys-
Cherish, did you go live yesterday?
Did I go live yesterday? Yes, I did.
I haven't been really checking my like life size Coraline stuff, and so I just checked the Instagram, and I guess Mare had mentioned me in your live video, and it's the
Mhm.
just standing emoji, but I have
Yep.
no idea what that means.
I can't remember what we were talking about, but I think we were like trying to summon you for some
Oh.
reason.
Maybe it was probably about Loki or Tom.
It was probably about Loki or Tom. Which, speaking of, now I want to look at me and Raven's DMs because they get cray sometimes.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Oh my gosh, the
Last-
amount of things we've sent to each other.
I haven't
All
even
right, I was
checked
watching
mine.
Crown last night with my mom.
The Crown. I still have never watched The Crown.
Oh my god, I
I've seen
love
like
it.
part of an episode, but mm-mm.
Oh, I want to redacted so bad it's not even funny.
That was me. Oh my gosh, this
Oh.
one. Okay, this TikTok was about the Marvel Men. Okay, Chris. It was like literally all of them, and I said, "Have you seen Murder on the Orient Express?" And she said, "Yes." I was like, "I want that ending, but not murder. Something else." Teehee. I literally, I was like, literally, if y'all have seen Murder on the Orient Express, you know what I mean. All the Marvel men just Murder on the Orient Express. That is me, okay? Just
I do want to say I sent the TikTok to Cherish. It said, "When I meet Sebastian," I put Seb because that's my little nickname for him. I'm gonna sit like you know how at those like events that they have like the meet and greets with the blue background, you can do
Mhm.
poses with them.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask him, could you make out with me like we're about to redacted? That's gonna be my picture.
Did you
Oh
see
my
that? Oh my
God,
gosh, Raven,
naughty.
did I send you this one? Hold on, I'm literally gonna send it to you right now
Okay.
because I was shooketh. You might have already seen it,
And then
but it was like
said,
photo shoot.
Cherish and Raven, not the meet and greet makeout sesh. Oh no. Okay, let me see.
Yeah, you need to look at it right now. It's just like
Oh no. This is me
the
crying
second
because I
picture.
have not here it said so I can give the viewers
Mhm.
it says me crying because I haven't had a meet and greet with Sebastian Stan.
I want you to
I'm
focus.
sure it's a whole bunch of pictures that's gonna make me die. Oh
Pay close attention to the second picture. It sent me into oblivion. I know. I need you to check your TikTok right now because I'm sending this to you.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to be her
And tell me how many messages you have from me because I'm sure it's a lot.
in the
Okay.
worst way possible, though.
Cherish,
Actually,
I
oh my
just
gosh,
sent
no,
you.
you caught up.
Cherish, I sent you a GIF because I wanted to see your live reaction to it.
Oh God, did you send in a text?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, it's on its way. Oh God. Okay, you ready? I'm about to open this. I'm nervous. Okay.
No.
I cannot deal with this right now.
I'm gonna send Raven, I'm gonna send you the GIF just so you know what she's looking at.
My eyes are watering.
I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
This has turned into a very unhealthy.
We're fine, guys. We're fine.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
So
So
many. Ree, did
I
you
would
see
just
the
like to
last one though?
I would like to say on yes, watch the last one, Ree. So this is a known fact in the Marvel world that Sir Tom Hiddleston has a very large downstairs.
Tom, if we're married, please stop listening right now.
He is
If
packing.
you're married, please, I respect your marriage, okay? But
Oh
nevertheless,
God.
has a very large I know I want to be her, but in the worst way possible. Um, and
Oh my
so
god.
the CGI people had to CGI out Tom Hiddleston's
They had to
downstairs.
hire
They
someone.
had to hire someone to CGI out his bulge. And yeah, that's it.
That's
So
That ma-
essentially.
and then after that, because they had to like make his costume with a little skirt flap in front because
I'm like, do we have the skirt? Nope, this one doesn't have a skirt flap. This
but
one
you
was
have the
edited.
you have the CGI version.
This is the CGI version.
oh,
I'm so dead.
I should just send that GIF to the group chat and see the reaction.
Please.
Please do that.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
So I feel like every time I see a picture of Sebastian Stan, I just think of the audio like, oh my god, I want him in the worst way.
The worst. My heart's gone pitter patter, pitter patter.
Pitter-patter. Maybe I'll just manifest it or something. That's
Yeah.
literally how I feel about Sebastian Stan. And literally he posted something today. Oh, just so you guys know, like I've been DMing Sebastian Stan. I need him to
Have
see it.
you?
So on April, I sent him a message say, "Hey, are you Hydra because you captured my mind?" Um, and on May 4th, because it is said that Sebastian Stan has a secret TikTok account because Homeboy has been saving TikToks and posting them on
And
his Instagram
posting
story.
them.
He has. I saw those. I was like, oh my god. Okay, we need to find Raven and Cherish on here. Just so you know.
Okay, so then I sent him another message. Like this message if you have a secret TikTok account. Don't worry, bestie, your secret is safe with me. And then I sent him this like Sebastian Stan like appreciation like Instagram post that someone posted. And then Thursday I said, "Bestie, follow me back on TikTok."
Raven.
Guys, I'm just waiting.
For the
I'm
day
waiting
he's
for
like,
it.
hi.
But
Did you see that TikTok of the girl who had DM'd him and was like, please reject me so that I can like move on? And she had like sent a bunch of other messages and he just responded with nope.
Yes, yeah.
And she was like, does that mean I've been rejected? Or is he saying no, he's not gonna reject me? Or was that no to one of the other things that I said? Like,
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Sebastian Stan is playing Tommy Lee in like a movie that's about Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee, and he Lord,
with all the tattoos.
oh I have all those pictures saved on my phone right now. 'Cause I was gonna make a TikTok about it, but so today he posted a video of him twirling a guitar stick, and he has
A guitar
tattooed.
stick, a drumstick.
Oh,
You played
sorry.
guitar with a stick. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
a drumstick, not a chicken drumstick, a wooden drumstick between his fingers, and I'm just like, Lord have mercy on my soul.
Literally, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so I play piano, Tom plays guitar, Seb's gonna play drums, we're starting a band.
I will be your manager.
Manager a band, please.
Can I be your media?
Yes.
Yes, be the media person. My friend Angel, who's also in love with Sebastian Stan, she's like, I can play kazoo. And I was like, that sounds perfect. And we're gonna be playing Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. I'm gonna do the bass line, the banana, and Tom's gonna do like the main chorus. He's like, dun, 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 and then Seb's gonna do the drums, and then Angel's gonna come in the doo 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 doo. It's gonna be quite iconic.
I know how to
That'd be
play the flute
everything.
and the clarinet.
Oh my gosh. And we can have an orchestra. Oh my gosh. It's
Can
gonna be
I play the
amazing.
triangle? That's the only
Yes,
instrument I
Yes.
know.
It's very
Cowbell.
important.
You need a
Percussion.
cowbell.
1000%. Yes.
Cowbell! Yes!
Oh my god. I'm gonna I Church, have you thought about if you were to meet Tom Hiddleston in one of those Marvel like meet and greets, what pose would you ask him to do?
It's a difficult one. And I don't think about it very often because there's a lot of things that I have to say before I before I ask for the picture. Because okay, number one, spoiler, I'm writing a Loki song. And
I
well,
heard about this Loki song yesterday.
I actually have a fully completed Loki song, but it's not Loki vibes in my opinion. So I'm going for so that song will probably be released at some point, but my Loki song that reminds me of like Asgard and stuff, like that one is in the works. And so if I were ever to meet Tom in that context of at a Marvel Comic Con meet and greet kind of thing, I would be like, first of all, hello. I don't know how to speak words to you right now. So I wrote down on this little paper, I wrote a song about Loki and I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, can we just kiss for this picture? I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
I'd probably go for the like loving romantic, like maybe kiss on the cheek. I don't know. I will pass away before I even get to that point. I'll probably just black out and not even know what to do, which is why I have the paper to give him.
I have said that if we were to go to these Marvel meet and greets, I would avoid Tom Hiddleston for out of respect for Cherish and Ree because Tom and I have 100% plus compatibility.
It's so disrespectful that Raven's compatibility with Tom is so great. It's
Oh my!
ridiculous.
So
I think mine is. I did mine on when we had recorded one time. Our last Marvel one was it? I forget what it was. I think it was 60 something or 70
I'm pretty
something.
sure that's better than mine. Mine is literally booty. It is. That's not terrible. Let's see. Where is it? Cherish and Tom Hiddleston. Where is the signs?
Just if you
I'm looking. I'm like, it's not loading my thingy. Hold on, let me refresh. Let's see if it. Oh, I gotta redo my profile. Anywho,
cosplay as Sing, because Sing is Loki's wife.
ooh, and
Period.
you know what? Because okay, this is literally another reason. If you don't simp for Tom Hiddleston, first of all, I don't understand. Second of all, here's a reason. He is so well versed in Loki as a character and in the MCU, like to back it up. Like there was something he was talking about. They were like, Loki, if there was like ever to be like a lady Loki or whatever, who would you get to play her? Or who would you say? He was like, Jamie, what's her face? Whoever plays Sif. And he was like,
I love her.
and he was like, I would want her because one, she's an amazing actress, she's beautiful, and also in the comic books, and he starts going off about how Loki like steals Sif's body and like is in Sif's. I was like, this man knows these like obscure facts. Like he was like, so it would make sense. Like I feel like she'd be the first pick, and I'm like, sir. The fact that
Period.
you know this much, yeah, 67.43% is us. But the thing says your relationship is smooth and everything is possible.
Everything is possible. Come on.
You must turn your marvelous relationship into a success love story because you have all the necessary keys and assets to this end. So go for it. And I'm like, and I will go for it. Thank you, Astro.
I'm gonna do mine again, but that I already know. Like with mine, I'm going to have to avoid him because I feel like with the hi Pickles. I feel like with our compatibility, it'd be like one of those like love at first sight type thing.
It would destroy me.
And I just would not be able to do that.
It would hurt my feelings really bad. So I appreciate Raven is a true bestie for avoiding.
Let me see. Okay. I think we have where are we? And he's the only celebrity that I've had I've had like the highest. So him and I are 92% global rating. But our emotional and sexual rating are 97%.
Ridiculous.
Oh.
Stupid.
Communication 88%. So I would have to avoid him, or I would just go and I'd be very cold. I'd be like, hi, hello, nice to meet you. Take our
But what if
picture.
he thinks that's
Move on.
intriguing? You have to like
No.
be like crazy. You have to be like, hi, I know everything about you. You have to like learn all these facts about him so he thinks you're like a stalker. And then also question, wait, it doesn't show.
I don't think
I don't know.
have I done one mine with Sebastian? Mine with Sebastian's
Oh.
not that. I'm very sad about it, but I
was gonna say you guys should like analyze their charts because I don't know anything about what the charts mean.
Ooh.
Okay, let me
What
do it. I'll look at it right now.
Ooh, like what's I want to know what Tom's Venus is. What's his
Venus is Gemini? Wait, no, I'm a liar. That's not what it is. Where is it? It doesn't show.
Yeah, so Sebastian San and I have a 36% rating.
Oh,
I'm so sad about it. Ugh.
Oh wait, what is this the list? It's not, it doesn't show me the list. I don't know what it's got all these. Oh, here we go.
Symbols.
We don't know, it doesn't show what his rising is because I guess because we don't have the time of birth, but my friend said that didn't matter, and I was like, what?
Here, I searched it up. So he's an Aquarius. Wait, he's an Aquarius?
He's an Aquarius.
Yes.
His son's Aquarius. What's his Venus?
Aquarius.
His Venus is Aquarius?
Mm-hmm.
His moon is Aries, and his dominants are Libra, Aquarius, Pisces, Uranus. Wait, I'm so confused. I don't know.
His Aries moon, Pisces Mercury, Pisces Mars, Aquarius Sun, of course, Aquarius Venus, Neptune Sagittarius, and Uranus Scorpio. Pluto is Libra. I don't know what this true Lilith is. That's Libra. Jupiter in Libra and Saturn in Libra. And his true north node is in Leo.
Boom, period.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I really want to know what his rising is though, because rising is the one that like you present, right? Like you present as.
Yeah. So yeah. Moon is emotions. Sun is like who you are to the world, but rising is who you present, right, Raven?
Yeah.
And Venus is like your love. It's your love and intimacy. So his is an Aquarius, and those who have Venus in Aquarius want friendship above all else. And even if his or her most intimate relationships often resemble friendship rather than romance, there are idealists or rebels who stand out from the crowd.
Honestly, I don't know. That could like,
maybe the Loki song is what I mean. You just need to work on it really hard because maybe that is what will take you.
I literally that is all I want. It, even at the very, I mean, the most that I want to get out of, I mean, obviously, the most I want to get out of it is to meet him and, you know, be his friend. And then, like, at the very, very most, us fall in love. But, like, you know, at my heart is, I want to make this song and to, like, appreciate and kind of, like, let him know that, like, there are people who appreciate your character beyond just like how attractive he is. Because like obviously that's what gets you at first. Tom Hiddleston is a very handsome man. Even though I have seen so many people who have made posts like, we need to stop the body shaming. And I'm like, what? And I saw a video and it was like people who had screenshotted comments and tweets of like saying like, Tom is so ugly. He's this and that. I was like,
yeah, they did that with Sebastian too.
Do they want to fight me? Because that's what's gonna happen.
I was like, excuse me while I go burn the world down. Like, I'm gonna go push some kids into a ditch. Like, what? Because that's literally the only people who could be saying that as like 12-year-olds. I mean, not any hate if you're 12, but like literally get your people and tell them to fix the problems because it's ridiculous. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know. I feel there are certain people in life who I just like feel a very strong like sense that there's something else going on, like deep beneath the surface,
Mhm.
that if like my I always want people to feel like they are heard and understood. Like that's always my goal, especially
I
with
think
my
that's
music and
also
stuff.
sometimes your downfall too.
It really is. And Raven and Reed both know I try to do my best to go above and beyond and be as kind as possible, because I I would want someone to do the same thing for me.
Mhm.
It does get me into situations where I have been too nice, and I hate saying too nice because I'm like, you can never be too nice, but like you can.
I
And
think
I've
it's
been
just
there.
I think too nice or like just very forgiving.
So forgiving when I shouldn't be. And I know people, my friends will be the first to tell you, they're like, Cherish, don't. I'm literally setting up my phone flashlight because I can't see myself. Not that I need to see myself, but I just like get into these situations where I'm like, Cherish, you got to put yourself first. And then I don't. And it's just, and then I get into these bad scenarios. But I truly think I am some sort of an empath. I have a good sense of what other people are feeling, and it's less like what they're feeling in the moment, but like what's kind of deep inside. Because I'm like, I've been to a lot of places deep in my life, and I've lived a lot of different lives through the books that I've read. I get like that is one of the things I'm like, does everybody do this? And I'm sure there are a lot of you guys who can relate to just completely like forgetting that you're living in the outside world, and like, oh, I'm not Bella Swan in Twilight, you know?
I think that's another reason like why you're really good at like songwriting for like the fandoms or like for like characters or whatever is because like you really like immerse like yourself into that world.
Totally.
So it's like easier for you to do that.
Which that's another reason why I'm struggling with the Loki song right now, because I have the instrumental. I know what I want to do musically. Lyrically, I'm struggling. I can make I'm the first Loki song, it has lyrics that are very like very Loki relatable. Like the opening lyric is childhood games we used to play, if only you meant to help me, which is like a nod at Get Help, you know? And he's like, we should do Get Help, but like, is anybody really trying to help Loki? I don't think so, right? Oh, Ray is screaming. uh,
Wait,
I love that.
can you tell her the lyric about if you want to leak it, I don't know, about
oh,
The Thor one?
yeah, okay, hold on. Let me get my little notebook. I'll read you the lyrics, Ray, because I feel like you will appreciate all the references. And again, this is like, I haven't watched the movies in a long time. So this is based off of my just like loose understanding and
Maybe we need to
my
get together and
research.
watch the movies again
I am
together.
definitely going to be watching Thor again because I watched Ragnarok a couple weeks ago.
And
But
don't forget, we got 3 weeks
Oh,
until.
on to the Loki show. Oh my gosh. But here you go, Ree. So
Well, ears.
the first verse, childhood games we used to play, if only you meant to help me. And then I called this home, it's all I know, but it was a lie, obviously, because he was adopted. And then this line is specifically like at Thor. So what can I say? Where can I go to run from your shadow? Because he's always in the shadows of Thor. And then I'll play pretend, but where does it end? Am I too far gone? So kind of like I'll pretend to be the villain, but then he actually does, you know. Then it goes, hold me close, but not so tight, just enough to soothe me, which is kind of, someone had mentioned that it sounded like Frigga, but I was more about, it was more about Odin for me. Like imagine Odin finding baby Loki. He's like, this is a frost giant baby, but I'm gonna take it in, but it's still a frost giant baby, you know, because
Yeah.
he never thought of him the same with Thor.
mhm.
From your fabricated love, I learned to lie, which that is a very, it's very simple, but it's like, it's a lot of deep thought on my part because of, you know, Loki didn't know he was adopted. These people have been lying to him his whole life, telling him that he is Asgardian, and he's like, I'm a frost giant, I'm Laufey's son, you know? And so indirectly, by lying to him, they like made him, you know, the best liar he could be, because he just completely convinced himself that he was one of them when he wasn't. Anyway, just lots of trauma. And then I just want to be good enough for someone, but if you think I'm a monster, then that's what I'll become. And he did. Oh, anyway. And then it ends with, if I met fate, would your heart break? Which it did when he died. And anyway, so
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Infinity War, don't watch it if you love Loki.
This is going to destroy me, Cherish.
That version, it's a very soft Loki song. Like the music is very soft and gentle.
Wait till you hear because I heard the music for a little bit of the music for the second one. It's very like, oh, it's kind of like, it's giving me, I know it's not going to be that vibe, but it's giving me very like seductive Loki vibe.
It's literally not seductive at all.
Yeah, but those are the vibes I get, like running down the hall, like in a beautiful dress, and you're gonna go to Loki.
I tried to make it more, it's a little more majestic, a little more like royalty kind of vibes. It's very classical. It's a classical feel. Like I feel like you would hear this literally as you're running down the halls.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. On a dark corridor, and then you turn a corner and Loki's there waiting for you.
Oh my
and
god.
Then you just and you run to him and you just jump in his arms and
I mean, yes, I would love that. I also would love I'm thinking of it as like a duet kind of concept. Literally in hopes that Tom would ever sing it with me. Because if you guys don't know, Tom is a singer and he claims to not be, but he's
got
just
a
like
voice.
He's got a beautiful the amount of times that I YouTube search Tom Hiddleston singing is astronomical. It is quite ridiculous. I'm like, I could probably, if I look at my last thing, I'm like, Tom Hiddleston singing. It's right there. So many of the videos have like red lines on the bottom because I've watched them. It's him singing in the Tinkerbell movie, him singing the Lovesick Blues and I Saw the Light, him singing in a guitar shop with this guy, him singing with Stephen Colbert, singing Man in the Mirror, him trying to sing Cielito Lindo, him singing I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, which made me want to cry. And I mean, singing live and everything. I love his voice. And I think that he just is waiting for someone to ask him to sing. Because he sang in these movies. He sang in this other stuff.
Well, I am offering my services. I am an alto, so if you would like for me to do the duet part, I would be
Harper. Because the thing I'm like trying to think, because I don't want, it's not like a romantic duet. It's not like a love song, but I don't know why. For some reason, I think it's because of how classical it feels. It's going to be very simple melodically, and I've kind of come up with a melody, but not a lyric. Not one single lyric has come to me. Which is why I'm like,
I think you need to revisit the movies. Probably
I need to watch the movies because I've watched like some.
Or say maybe the show will
see. That's the thing, is I want to get it before the show. Like,
you want to get it before the show.
I think it's just like a little pride thing for me because I did Midnight Sun before. I did Silence before Midnight Sun came out, and Stephanie was like, "You got it, girl. You understood." Like, and then reading through Midnight Sun and seeing like all the like references to like silence and like buzz of a crowd, I'm like, all of this stuff is obviously super easy Edward lingo, but I was like, I freaking called it in my song before the book came out. There were so many things I was highlighting. I was like, I mentioned this in silence and I didn't even read it. So there's a part of me that's like, I want this to come out before the Loki show so that Tom can be like, this girl gets it, And also, I don't know that there will be, what do you guys think? I don't know how much is going to be mentioned about like how far in the past we're going to look at Loki's life.
I don't know. See, the way the story they're taking is, it's basically Loki is fresh out of 2012 because he's back to Endgame, and he got in trouble with I think it's the TFA because they monitor the timeline. So the fact that he did that, he has to fix it. Yes, this is where we see most of his anti-hero, but I don't know if we're gonna really go back, if he's gonna revisit his past
or future.
or
Yeah,
future.
because
But
he
wait, continue.
because the evolution of Loki all the way to Infinity War when he spoiler, when he like sacrifices himself and tries to be the hero and Thanos just anyway,
God.
it just hurts. I haven't watched Infinity War since I've started my love for this character, and I don't know that I will be able to because I've seen too many TikToks where people just freaking put that in there, and I'm like, please stop, I can't take it.
Maybe your new song has something to do with sacrifice.
I think that will definitely be something in there. I want it to end. I don't know if it'll directly reference because literally in the other one it mentions like if I met fate would your heart break, and he did meet fate and it was sad. But I think I want it to be a little bit hopeful at the end, even though the song is very, very dark. I was trying to not go for dark because I was like, I don't want it to sound too much like Echo because my song Echo is very dark in nature, but it's a very different vibe.
Yeah, it's very
while
different
still
vibe.
being dark. So
Maybe in a bit, like we can cut it out, or afterward you can show give her a little sneak peek. We don't want to. I mean, you guys already got the sneak peek for the first Loki song, so you don't get any more. But speaking of Echo, this so Cherish has Cherish has lots of songs, but her her more fandom geared song, latest fandom geared song is called Echo, and it was based off of Hunger Games' new like prequel book.
Yep.
I'm not really into Hunger Games, so I don't know if like you and Ree can take the reins on this one.
Ree is pulling out her
I'm
book.
gonna like find the chapter or scene that I really resonate with Echo.
Okay, tell me. So if anyone needs to know, this book is called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And also this is another thing. I'm planning on writing a letter to Suzanne Collins because I saw a TikTok. Emily sent me a TikTok and was our friend Emily. If anybody doesn't know, our friend Emily.
Remember I like to say Remember Twilight. It's like kind of our sister podcast, our best
podcast.
We'll say bestie podcast.
The bestie podcast. Remember Twilight. Emily. She sent me a TikTok. She was like, maybe you just need to write Suzanne Collins a letter because this teacher sent Suzanne Collins a letter along with some student work. And she was like, send your favorite author a letter. And she wrote her back. Like she sent her a package back. And I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to write Suzanne Collins a letter. I mean, because of course, Hunger Games was a very like monumental series in like adolescence. I loved it in middle school. We read it. And I mean, after Twilight, I was like, Hunger Games. Because I mean, once Twilight was over, Hunger Games started.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, oh my gosh, my love for Twilight never diminished after reading the Hunger Games. Thank God. But
I think it's because they're very different. You know, they're not
so different. And I love Twilight because I'm a romantic at heart. I'm just like obviously I'm a hopeless romantic. Emphasis on the hopelessness because I crave that fairy tale dream everything.
So basically, I think resonates with part 3. Or part 3 because it's like, I mean, spoilers for anyone, because like part 3 kind of sets off like, you know, it's very okay, but it turned darker as it progressed. And since Echo kind of follows that suit, I think it definitely resonates there with him in District 12 and all that. And then especially how the book ended, I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
That literally, if you love the Hunger Games and you love if you love the Hunger Games, I think you'll love this book for the same reasons that you'll hate it. Because I love it so much and hate it at the same time. But I think it's because the main character is Snow. And he's a villain. And villains always start somewhere. And he started somewhere and he ended right where we picked him up in the Hunger Games.
I still, it's been a year since I read this, and I still, because when my mom had asked me about it, she's like, "So what did you think?" And I was like, "I literally have no words. I can't tell if I liked it. I can't tell if I didn't like it because
Exactly.
it just." At first, I was confused because I was like, "Okay, this seems like a plot hole, like
Mm-hmm.
differing off the canon." But then she ends up connecting it to where it sticks with the original canon, and I'm like, "Wait a moment, I don't know if I like how she did that because."
It's so frustrating, but I think throughout the book, because obviously we all know President Snow's the villain. He's the absolute worst in the Hunger Games. He didn't start off as like quite the monster he is,
Yeah.
but he didn't start off as an angel either. He's
Mm.
always been selfish. He's always been just looking out for himself. But also at the same time, he was looking out for his family, which was just his grandmother and his cousin. Like, there's a lot. He's a very complicated character.
He is. And I think that's
And
what makes him a good villain.
it makes him a really great villain, but also it sucks because like it's almost like you want to sympathize for him, but he doesn't give you many opportunities. Like he gives you an opportunity to sympathize for him, and then he just like freaking ruins it by opening his mouth.
Yeah, like what he did to Shay Jonas.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, just when I thought I was gonna like be okay, maybe you're not gonna. And
He
no, he.
y'all need to read it.
Y'all
You
gotta
need
read
to read
it.
it. It's ridiculous. And then you'll really get the like the song, you'll get it if even if you haven't read it. But the reference in the song, it just
Yeah, the song is very. I mean, I've watched all the Hunger Game movies. I never read the books, so I like get what you're talking about, but I don't get like
mm-hmm.
everything else. But like even then, I feel like the like you don't even have to know the Hunger Games just to like enjoy the song.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah.
one thing that I did want to talk about also is your cover art for your songs.
Oh my gosh. My
They're
incredible
literally gorgeous.
Well,
Molly McAuley Perkins. Y'all go to malzyart.com. Go to at Cullen Creative on Instagram. At Malzy Art, also on Instagram. She is my go-to for any cover art anytime. She literally is my angel, one of my best friends in the whole world. She's over in England near Tom. Ooh, and
British.
she's British. And I was like, Molly, you have to go to London because that's where Tom is, and you need to go bump into him and just be like, hi, here's my friend. um, but she's an incredible artist. She's done every cover art, every piece of cover art for each of my singles that has come out.
Yeah. So if you guys, I mean, you guys can always go check Cherish out so you can see those.
Mm-hmm.
But like the silence one, I think is perfect. It's Edward
Yes.
silhouette, very
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, and it kind of resembles to me like the song because the song's about silence, and so it's like it's really, I just love that it's very simple, like
There's
and
like a lot of negative space.
yeah.
Like it is silent for
And
sure.
then always is perfect.
Like
I
the
actually,
hands.
Cherish makes her merch every time she. I don't. Are you gonna have one for Echo?
There is Echo merch coming, but it's not. It is different from. This is the first time I'm using a local artist, one of my friends. He's
Mm.
doing the art for because I want Molly's artwork is incredible. It's so detailed that the websites I try to use do not like to register, and they like to simplify it and make it look ugly. And I'm like,
Mhm.
so always I finally had to just like we worked on simplifying that one so much because her shading, she's into realism.
She's
So
great.
and it's
And
beautiful,
so the
but
always cover art I think is beautiful because it's just very like Edward Bella. It's
mm-hmm.
two hands, gorgeous. I actually wear it to work quite often because it's always cold in my room. And then the Echo one is just like so beautiful, like so
It
like it's
insane.
great. Yeah.
And my original idea for that was so different. I mean, it was so simple. It was I was like, it's gonna be the snake on the guitar with the rose in the back. But then Molly took it just up a notch. She was like, here's the guitar. here's the snake. I'm gonna put a rose coming out this way. I'm gonna do a little circle around it, and all this. I was like, she was like, okay, this is not exactly what you did, but this is what I think. Like, you can tell me if you hate it. And I was like, literally nothing you can do, I will hate. Like, there's nothing you could draw me, unless it was like Loki getting speared, like that I would honestly, I'd be like, oh my god, he looks so cute. I'm devastated. But she's actually doing a piece of Loki artwork right now. She's
Oh,
doing
love that.
a Loki.
Oh
You're
my
gonna look
God.
so handsome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, her
Oh my
cover art
gosh,
is gorgeous. Love it.
insane. Also, that just reminded me that I've like been trying to shift so hard because listen, this is how psychotic my mind is. I'm like, I want to go shift to like Asgard so I can talk to Loki about the song, so I can ask him for advice. And last night I got really close. Like I was going to sleep. I bought some Z-Quil, okay, kids. I bought some Z-Quil and I was like, I'm gonna take this before I go to bed so I can just like knock out really fast and like just drift into REM sleep really fast. And I was laying there and I've tried to be as detailed as because I don't script or anything. I'm just like cheating. I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I like have my exact outfit that I'm wearing, which is a beautiful like dress. And I'm like imagining I'm waking up in this like giant bed, like so luxurious. And there's a window, and then Loki will come in, and I'll be like, "Hey, can I talk to you about this?" And also, my hair looks amazing. I like it's so detailed. I'm like, I wake up. Okay, I'm waking up in Loki's room, but not because we did anything. Okay, keeping it PG, people. I mean, would I like to? Maybe, but that's not what happened in my pure scenario.
So I don't know. I think did I say it on the last podcast? I'm not 100% sure if I did. It's a blur. It's been 2 weeks. A lot has happened in 2 weeks. Um, but I did also try to shift.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was an experience, church. I don't think I told you this, but I
You
did. I
didn't.
dude, it was literally the craziest thing ever.
Wait, is it? No, no, no. Did you tell me this, or was this the dream that you talked about on the podcast?
I did talk about the dream, but I told Cherish about the
The
dream.
Loki dream.
The two
Okay.
dreams that I had, the
It
really
was
weird dreams I
it's
had.
so ridiculous that Ravens had these dreams about just like Loki being all up on her. And I've had two dreams about Tom Hiddleston as well. But they've been the first one, we walked down the sidewalk into a building and he was like, all right, bye. And I was like, okay, bye. And then the second one, we were in this like old abandoned schoolhouse and my students were there and he was telling them a story and then he gave me like a little like smile. Look, I was like, oh, starting the love story. Then I have not had a dream since. It's ridiculous.
Well, so in my shifting, it was so I was using a method that I found on YouTube. It was like a guided meditation because I love listening to things before I go to sleep. ASMR, real into that. So it's like maybe
Yes.
this will work, right? So I was doing it. I it was so weird. I don't even know how to explain it.
You
But
need to
like
first of all send me the video
I'll send it
because
to
I
you.
want.
So I was kind of like it felt like when I was in, I felt like my like I was just like lifted off my bed like this much. It just felt like like very
Mm-hmm.
weird, right? So then it start in the dream it starts saying, or in the video it started saying like imagine like think about who you want to see and all this stuff. So I didn't want anything specific yet. I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to wake up in a room with all the Marvel characters there and just see where it went. Dude, it was so weird. So it was like I could feel my eyes shifting like back and forth, like if I was looking in a room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like all of a sudden I start seeing silhouettes like of people. And I was like, but I could tell who they were, like from the silhouettes. And then I started getting facial features and faces. So like I saw Captain America, I saw Bucky, and I saw Loki, and like my eyes were shifting. I saw like the silhouette of Natasha. So like it was like I was there and like I heard voices in the distance. I heard like it's super distant, like far away. And they're like, finally, you know, like you're here, like we've been waiting, like what the heck, right? Things like that, right? And I was like, what is going on? I was like, and I don't know what happened, but I like I snapped, I like the video's still playing, right? In my head, the video's still playing. The video's like 15 minutes long, right? I it felt like I was in this for like 5 minutes, something like that, like super short. This is the craziest part. I somehow snap out of it, check my phone because the video is still playing, and it's not even on the freaking video. It's like 30 minutes into this like longer video that was just like background noise. And it literally felt like I was only like there like on my bed for 5 minutes.
That's
I I
crazy.
was like,
Oh,
I was like, what is going on? And then I had very vivid dream night like that night, but it
Mhm.
wasn't. It had nothing to do with the Marvel characters, but it was just the craziest. I was like, what is going on? Like it was crazy. And then I've recently been seeing on TikTok, and I've been saving them, so I'll send them over new
Mhm.
new ways that people are like trying to like shifting and that are working for them. So I'll send it your way.
That is I'm literally tonight. I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna be like, all right, and watch this 15-minute video, this guided whatever. Ah, I'm like contemplating, like, should I take my Z-Quil? Because I've been like, I've been like, okay, I'm gonna take my Z-Quil. It's gonna give me some dreams. Last night I went to bed early though, after taking Z-Quil, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, frick, Z-Quil is not just like keep you asleep. It just gets you to fall asleep. Which I'm like, I get it,
Yeah.
but
So I think a lot of the reasons why I was able to have those two vivid dreams that I had about Loki, and then about that Loki one was wild. If you guys want to hear that one, and the Bucky one too, go back like
please,
2 episodes
yes.
because oh Lord, I don't even. Oh, I woke up and I felt so like I was like Raven, what is going on? But I take vitamin B12 shots because
I
I'm
mhm.
trying to have babies, whatever, right? I have PCOS, so I have to take vitamin D3, I have to take vitamin B12. So I'm like, and there's I'm getting shot up with like 100 milligrams of vitamin B12 every week. And apparently vitamin, like any type of vitamin B will give you very vivid dreams. So, and vitamin B is good for you. Most people have like most women to have vitamin B deficiency. So if you just take some vitamin B's or
I've been thinking
B12,
about it.
B6.
I was like, either I'm gonna get some melatonin gummies or something, or I'm gonna
ooh,
just start taking some vitamin B.
Melatonin helps me a
melatonin
lot.
gives me some dreams, man.
Mhm. My melatonin with the mixture of the vitamin B12 was wild.
That would be ridiculous.
That's
Okay,
why I was having those dreams because I was on that. It was crazy.
hmm
I,
It's
I've been taking for like the past 3 months. I've been taking biotin, which is vitamin B7. So
mhm.
it's also been giving me quite some dreams, and I'm like, okay, this is very realistic now.
You
I
know
wake
what?
up and I'm all like,
What I was thinking, and we can end this on a wondering note. Um, so most people are deficient in some sort of vitamin,
Mhm.
right? Unless like anything. So unless they're like taking vitamins like on the daily or keeping track of that.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's so much undiscovered about the world, about shifting, like
Mhm.
about our own abilities. Like what if us being like deficient in these vitamins is literally holding us back from being able to do these things?
For sure. 1000%.
Like it just makes so much sense. And then it's just like so like the shifting realities, it's like, okay, obviously I was gonna say Twilight doesn't exist, but like Forks is the place that exists. But
Mhm.
like the MCU, it's like that's not a place that like that's not something that has happened in real life.
Mhm.
But like, are there other realities where like it has happened, and that is why like we're able like I don't know, I don't like my mind just
Mm,
goes wanders when I start thinking
This
about things like this.
this brings me to a thought of like, okay, so everything that has ever been written by an author of something, whatever, like they all think that's an original thought, right? Like we're like, oh my gosh, these authors are so creative creating these worlds. I have to question and wonder, I'm like, we can come up with a lot of things, but some of
Mhm.
these things are very specific, very wow, this would be a really crazy thing to just like think of one day. So
Mhm.
I always think, I'm like, I want someone had asked, if y'all don't know, I have a podcast as well. It's in a coma right now. She's not alive. She's not quite with us, but she's not dead completely. And we thought about, is could Twilight be based off true events? And we're like, obviously it's not like true events, but Stephanie Meyer had a dream about these people in the meadow, and she like made up a story about them. And I'm like, could that have been another reality that she was able to tap into via her dream? I'm like, how did Stan Lee come up with these ridiculously intricate stories? Like, how could he have just come up with that all by himself? Just all completely out of his own mind. What? No,
Yeah.
I am convinced that there is somewhere else. Like, these authors are just getting to tap into some other universes that we are just not able to tap into ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a conspiracy for the longest time that J.K. Rowling was actually Rita Skeeter, one of her characters, and she wrote,
That's what I've heard that about Harry
yeah,
Potter too.
which is just her
Mhm.
biography from being Rita Skeeter.
I've heard of that about one too, where she's just wrote about like real life things that had happened to her, or like
Hmm.
what she experienced, and that's just Harry Potter. And it's like, I mean, you never know. Like you don't like we don't know.
We literally don't know. And one of my favorite series, it's like probably my third favorite series. It's like Twilight, Hunger Games, and then, or actually, it's probably second, the Unwind series by Neil Shusterman, which is
I gotta read
about,
that.
you need to read it. Everybody go read it. It's insane. It's basically futuristic. Well, it's not really dystopia, but it is like America in the future. It's pretty normal, other than there's this process. Abortion is illegal, but you can unwind your kid between the ages of 13 and 18, I think. And basically, they just take you apart, all your body parts, and they save them and they harvest them for transplant. So your body parts are still alive while you're divided. So it's like your
Oh
heart's
wow.
still beating, your brain's still being used, your arms, your legs, everything is still technically alive. It's just not all together. But anywho, Neil Schusterman just posted on his Instagram yesterday that, because there's a concept in the book of the reason why we have unwinding is because there are these things, they can print organs, but they're like, oh, but that's not whatever. So we're going to use these, we're going to unwind the kids so we can use their body parts for transplant. And he just said the organ printer, like someone has like developed like an organ printer like today, like in our world right now. And I'm like, you freaking called it, sir.
Yeah. I wonder I
It's
That's
wonder if it's just like premonitions or like what
mhm,
exactly like I think like obviously like I believe in like there's people with like extra abilities that just like
mhm.
aren't available to everyone.
Yeah.
This is really weird. I don't really think I've ever told anyone, and it's like except besides family, that I'm like okay, but sometimes the most random times literally happens whenever I can just see like your aura. But
Oh
it
my
doesn't
gosh.
it's not all the time. It
Mhm.
happens at the most random times ever. Like the first time it ever happened, I thought that I was like, did someone drug me? I was literally like, did someone like put something in my water? I was freaking out. We were at the beach. I was just
Ooh.
sitting there, and then I was looking at, I like zoned out, and I was like looking at my cousin, and I just see her like her entire. I was like, what is going on with me? And my mom noticed that I was freaking out. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know, but I just see colors around people. And she was like, what? Like, what do you mean? And I had to explain to her. She was like, are you going crazy? And then, like, literally, I like, if people would pass by and I'm like, oh, like, they have like pink around them, but then it kind of fade. Like, it was just super weird. And like, it doesn't happen. Like, I can't do it every day. It's not like right now I can't see it, but like, it just happens random times. Literally the other day it happened at school, and I was like, please don't do this right now.
If you ever see my aura randomly, just tell me what color it is.
I will tell you, yes. But it was just the weirdest thing ever. And it happens at the most random times. And I just feel like every time it happens, I have to say it out loud. Like, oh, by the way, like, and it's really weird because I had like and the weirdest thing, I cannot see my mom's aura.
You can't see your mom's.
No.
Weird.
Like
Mm.
even there at the beach, no. I recently went to a funeral. It was like my mom's uncle or something like that. Um, and normally I usually feel like presences. I don't feel them at like funerals, like at like the funeral home, but more
Mm-hmm.
like at burials and stuff like that.
Mm.
But we went back to the funeral home to like eat lunch or something after the burial, and like super weird, but I started seeing it. I was like, oh my, it was
Mm.
like the weirdest thing ever. But the weirdest thing is that the lights, like the lights were kind of like skylights, but like
Mm-hmm.
not really. It was really weird. And I saw this like glowing light coming from the lights, like going off to the side. It was so weird. I was like, what is going on with
Girl.
me right now? And then like I was able to see everyone's in the room, and my mom was like, what's mine? What's mine? Because every time it happens, I'm like, Mom, it's happening again. And every single time I cannot see my mom's aura. It's very weird.
That's weird.
But that's what I'm saying. So I just feel like there's other like people have these other like they abilities that like not everyone has.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if like with authors, if it's like part of their ability is like to be able to shift to these places without even like trying to do it,
For sure.
without even knowing that they're doing it.
I mean,
I
I definitely think
100%.
it'd be possible, especially with what you said about people having like abilities. Because I swear, I see the future in my dreams. Because then I have like this deja vu that happens, and I'm like,
Mm.
I saw this in my sleep. It's happening like months. Like, um,
No.
I
Oh
was
my gosh.
I was in
I had
third grade the first time it happened, and I like freaked out in class because I was like, wait, I dreamt this. This
You're
happened.
like, I dreamt this happened. Ah.
literally, this is so bad. I know. But so a couple months ago when I was starting my audition process for the play that I'm doing right now, I had a dream that we were having a rehearsal, and at the rehearsal, I had one girl particularly in a role, and
Mhm.
I was like, and that what happened in my dream, like we were at a rehearsal, and then like I saw her what she was wearing, I saw the prop, everything, and then fast forward like to the day that we're auditioning, I told Jane, I was like, oh, I had a dream that like I put so and so in this role, but I'm not 100% sure because like she's very quiet, she's kind of new at it, whatever, right? Tell me why. I cast someone else in the role. They dropped the show, so I have to put her as the replacement. And then on Saturday we had a rehearsal, and she was up there performing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I was like, I dreamt this. It was so weird. I had to like stop. I was like, guys, this is so weird. I dreamt this. This is very odd." But
Do you
I've
get deja vu?
literally, but then I've had moments too, like I had a dream that this guy that I this would happen like a year or two ago. I had a dream that this guy that I went to school with, that I was really, really close with, I had a dream that he died, right? It was super weird. I was like, oh, like I was like, I woke up and I was like, why did I dream about him? Like, and why did I dream about him dying? Super weird. Well, at the time I was trying to be a healthy queen, and I had a Planet Fitness membership, and this guy worked at Planet Fitness, but I did not know. So I had called because my Planet Fitness payment hadn't gone through yet, and I was like, well, it should have gone through already. So I'm talking, whatever, whatever. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my bill, and he was like, okay, can I get a name for the account? And I was like, Raven. He goes, wait, Raven? Like, what's your last name? And I was like, Woods. And he goes, oh, he was like, did you go to PSJ North? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, I just dropped my, wow, I doxed myself. He was like, I'll bleep that out. He was like, it's Christian. And I was like, Christian who? And he's like, and he said his last name. And I was like, oh, and literally the day before I had a dream that he died. I was like,
That's
I was like,
crazy.
what is going on? And like that week it was happening, dude. Like it was that week was the week that I had that dream. It was like just having one right after. Like it was crazy. Like I had a dream that I, at the school that I went to for college, we would kind of the boys' dressing room was our hangout spot. So I would get to school, go straight to the boys' dressing room. All my friends would be there. We'd hang out there before we go to class. And I had a dream that like I got to school, blah 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 blah. I walked to the boys' dressing room, and there's people sitting in certain places, and then like I hear a conversation happening. I hear certain friends talking, and then one of my friends came and told me something like something very directly, and then the next day. I walk into the boys' dressing room. The same people from my dream are sitting where they were sitting in my dream. And then my friend told me exactly what they told me in my dream. And I like, I was like, I can't deal with this right now. I was
You're
like,
like,
I was like, it's 7 a.m. I can't do this.
That's literally me right now. More recently, and I tell Raven this all the time, and she'll send me screenshots of her time and stuff because I see repeating numbers like crazy. Like it is ridiculous. Like I never ever in the past have had like these kind of like occurrences, but I'm like I constantly am seeing 222, 333, 444, 555. I mean, literally from 12:12 until like 5:55, and like 11:11, 10:10. Any of the numbers of time that can be repeated, like so like up to the number 5, right? If it has from 1 through 5, I see those numbers. I swear every single day I see at least 2 or 3 of those repeating numbers. Or I'll like look at something and like the time on a video will have like 4:44, or it'll be like 2 minutes and 22 seconds, or this video will have like 888 likes on it. Like throughout the day I'll scroll through TikTok and it's like 111 likes or 444k likes on that thing, and I'm like,
Actually, recently you sent me a video and I clicked on it and the video had 33,000.3K likes. And I was like, Cherish would send me a video that unknowingly that had this like
I'm like, I don't know how it happens, but
You
it happens so often.
Raven sees auras, you see repeating numbers, that means something. I see the future in I think we're the X-Men.
We literally are like, call the MCU people. We are in real life.
that is the conclusion to this podcast after everything. That
After everything,
Cherish and I are the
X-Men.
the X
We're
women.
the X-Men.
The X-women, period.
That's gonna be the title of this podcast.
We are like, X-Men.
Yeah, and if you listen this far, then you get the title. And yes, you win a cookie.
I wonder what kind of I'm gonna have to be very creative with the thumbnail this time. We'll see.
I want you to put me on the body of Jennifer Lawrence in her like, what's that? What is she?
She was Mystique.
Mystique. Yep.
Okay. Got it. I will do that.
Can I be Jean Grey?
Yes, Queen.
Okay. I'll be,
and I want to be like holding hands.
I'll be Storm or something.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's a queen. Okay. And I want to be like hugging Loki.
I'll add him in there. I'll add Loki, Tom Hiddleston, and Bucky just in case. Yes. Also, guys, I feel like sometimes we're about to end. I don't want to hold you all. It's already 2 hours, but that's what happens when you have good conversation.
When you have such fun.
I feel like our thumbnails recently have literally been so ridiculous.
They're so good. That last one you did had me dying.
I don't know if you've seen them.
I'm going to look right now on YouTube.
I love them. The last one is probably the best one. But
oh my gosh, with the hottest MCU characters. Hold on, wait, that is literally ridiculous. The hyperfixation ones is really good with Loki and Bucky on the sides.
Yeah, and I did like the TV and nod to WandaVision.
The Twice-spiracy theory though with Stephanie and the triangle.
No, I think that was the start of my ridiculous thumbnail makings.
That is my favorite, mainly because I could not believe that you got me doing the Punnett square equation.
I mean, y'all, we have to give the nod to Hi Kevin, mi hoi minoi.
Oh yeah, that was a great episode. Oh, so many episodes. We're on our 20th episode.
You guys are literally on episode 20. I'm so proud of you. Like literally my podcast died at episode 4.
No, yeah, it's not dead. It's just
she's in a coma. She's in a coma.
on Do Not Disturb right now.
Yeah, she's just like
I-
napping. She took a lot of
But
ZzzQuil.
speaking of, there's 4 episodes that you guys can go listen of the Twilight Sleuth
The
on
Twilight Sleuths
Spotify and wherever else you listen
and
to.
Apple. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys can go follow Cherish. Cherish, tell us all your social media plugs.
Okay, depending on what you like, you can either follow at Cherish Danae, which is like my main. Anywhere you want to follow anybody, I'm at Cherish Danae. Twilight specific though, there is Forever Jumping the TL on Instagram, and on Twitter, Chair Jumps the TL. So yeah, you can find me there. Also, singing page, Cherish Singing stuff on Instagram. I have my 3
Cherish
Instagram
Danae on
accounts.
YouTube.
Cherish Danae on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. And TikTok, Cherish Danae. Find my music on Spotify and Apple Music. Also Cherish
At Cherish
Danae.
Danae,
That's my
yes.
name.
Apple Music too. Every time a Cherish song comes on in my car, I let it play. That's it.
You're the best.
So that's
You
you
are
guys
the
need to
best.
just go and
streams.
yes, for real.
Ugh,
And then for
a million
us guys, you can
streams.
go follow us on all of our social medias at the Bite Podcast RR. We're on Instagram, TikTok at the Bite Podcast RR, and then our Twitter is Podcast Bite. And then if you guys are you interested in a crime podcast, you can go follow our crime podcast, the very eerie, extremely wicked, and quite spooky podcast. But if you want to find us on Instagram, it's at Extremely Wicked Podcast.
Yes.
Such
We've
a
been on a little
mouthful.
hiatus, but we're gonna be coming back. Don't worry.
Yes, we were. I literally got. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I have competition Saturday, so soon, like, I'm like, once that's done, I'm like, I'm, I'm free. I got a little sick, so we're just we're taking a little break. We'll be back for our other podcast on the 24th, but this one's going strong.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's if you're wondering about that one. But yeah, any final words, guys?
Thank you so much, Cherish.
Thank you guys.
For
Thank
being
you
our
guys for having
first
me.
official guest, because we did have Mare on the podcast as a when we went to go meet honorable podcast guest. She was there when we were talking about our Twilight characters or actors in the movies that they were in, so y'all can go look back at that one. But Cherish is our first official guest.
I'm honored. I mean, I would have done it for you guys any day, anytime. These are my besties. And yeah, literally, it was just, I would want to hang out with you guys anyway, even if it wasn't for just the podcast.
That's true. I believe that wholeheartedly.
And y'all listening, watching, better follow us for our journey to Forks in September.
Yes, we're all gonna hug each other in Forks. Well, me and Raven have already hugged. Oops, but we're gonna hug Ree.
We're gonna hug Ree.
Oh my god,
tiny. She's so short.
She's so small.
I'm
giants.
Yeah, I'm the smallest in the group, right? Yeah, 5'2".
Okay, we can
so
carry you.
cute. Yes, we will.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this episode. If you stay this long, you deserve a cookie.
Literally.
So DM me on Instagram and I will send you a cookie. Maybe, who knows? Let's see who actually does it.
I'll pitch in for the cookie.
You just DM me and be like, I want my cookie. Okay.
Yes.
And tell me your preferences. Tell me if you have any allergies, all that, and you'll get sent a cookie by me. So yeah, maybe it'll be a signed cookie. Who knows? All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later.
Bye.